my Silk Strong stream like I wanted to. Yep, I had to get up, get out of the house, do a bunch of things that were completely unnecessary. And yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. And it's very unfortunate because I was like planning on putting out some new content. I was planning on like putting out another edited video today. I got one done and I was getting started on the other when this situation came up. But it is uh, it is very unfortunate. I think that like this keeps happening to me. It's very unfortunate. But all things considered, I do need to use mobile streaming more. I keep like wanting to experiment with it and trying to come up with things to do on it and what have you. And it's just, I don't know, it never feels that like interesting to me because I don't like the idea of streaming in public, right? So it's only in times like this where I am completely isolated from other people that I have an opportunity to do it. Because if I'm at home, I'll just like do a gameplay stream. You know, if I'm out and about, I'll just do a short when I have like a brief moment alone. It's like it's uh it's very very frustrating doing having to do things the way I do them. Like every single time there's some kind of like justification or a cope. It's just yeah, Silk Song isn't great. The past couple of days, I find myself going out and like running errands instead of playing it because it's just such a non-game. You know, it's not something that really deserves a lot of attention or praise. And in fact, I think that's becoming self-evident by seeing people play it for the first time. Because I went ahead and after ending my stream last night, I watched some other people play it, and it does feel as if a lot of people never finished the original. It does feel like a lot of people weren't fans of the original. Like it really does feel like people started streaming Silk Song because they thought it would be good for their streams, and they weren't wrong about that. I got more viewers on my gameplay stream than I think I've ever had for a video game stream. I've had more when like I'm covering Ricada or when I'm covering Ricada or the Game Awards or something like that. Uh, Hello, hello. Yeah, yeah. He's a very friendly cat. Like the friendliest cat I've ever seen. Ouch. Okay, he's a little bitey though. Yeah, I'm so used to my grandma's cats. They're like so shy in comparison. They will never come up to you. I guess it's because of how they were raised. I think they were the sort of cats that were raised in a box or something. And I guess if that happens, they're kind of finicky or whatever. I don't know. Like they won't even come out for anyone other than me. They'll hide, but this one will come up to me. Yeah. So Silk Song is I think it's a really interesting circumstance because This game is clearly underwhelming. I've played the original extensively. I've played a lot of other Metroid likes. I have a lot of experience with the genre and with like the series as a whole. And I can tell you that like Silk Song is not a new game. It is a DLC. It is priced like a DLC, and at this stage, it feels as if most people just aren't really willing to acknowledge it at all. Like people just want to like keep up this farce that like Silk Song is some huge hit, and I do kind of think it's a farce because you can see that like a lot of people are like confused by Silk Song's popularity. Like a lot of like streamers are playing it, trying to like get viewership, trying to get like heat on their streams, and like they don't know the first thing about it. They don't know how to play, but like they know it's popular, and so they have to hype it up, even though like they they can't play the game properly. And I think that's one of the things that sets my channel apart from the rest. Is like I am playing the game properly. I am making progress on it, and yeah, I am disappointed by it. I do think the game is very underwhelming. I do think it's not really what I wanted. I do think that the boss designs are just kind of lazy. It's just for me personally, like it really does feel as if Hollow Knight is just a game where you wander around until you find a boss and then beat it and then just move on to the next boss. Like everything else feels like filler. Like everything else feels like it doesn't really matter. And I think that's why so much of the community is fixated on like this lore and this thing that's things that aren't actually in the game itself, because I feel as if I don't know. I'm very interested in what the end of the year is going to look like, because you just know that like there's going to be a huge contrast between Silk Song and like Expedition 33. That's the thing that really gets to me, is that like I think we're going to see some real like competition for game of the year. And I think whoever loses isn't going to take it lying down very well. And you're going to see a lot of seething about it. Like, it's not going to be like when Tears of the Kingdom lost, when like everybody kind of rallied to kind of like promote Baldur's Gate 3. Like, for Expedition 33 and Silk Song, you have like two radically different games with two radically different audiences that are like, that both want to legitimize themselves as game of the year. And it's just, uh, it doesn't mean anything, but I think the most important thing to take away from all this is that like Silk Song is a major release that launched day and date on Switch 2 and has had lots of success. Chronos launched day and date on Switch 2, has had huge success. Star Wars Outlaws, that's I think that's a late port. I don't know. I think it is late port, but still doing reasonably well on Switch 2. Like, I think it's safe to say that the days of like third party games not finding an audience on Nintendo consoles are over. And like you still have some holdouts, like Ubisoft was coming out like seething about Switch 2, but like I think by and large most developers, especially smaller ones, are really realizing the value of putting their games on Nintendo. Because I don't think PlayStation and Xbox are putting as many resources into like games like Ori or Hi-Fi Rush as they should have. Sony lost their exclusivity rights to MLB The Show, right? That's just that's just one example, but like if it's not a big AAA product, they don't care about it, and that's led to them, creatively stagnating and just not being able to produce anything that isn't like part of some like long-standing relevant IP. And I would argue they've always been doing that because Final Fantasy VII, was a sequel to six other great RPGs. So Bonanza, yeah, yeah. Bonanza is fantastic. Like I had issues with Bonanza when I first played it, but like now that now that I've beaten it, I can safely say, yeah, it is better than Silk Song. I was really not expecting that. I really was like telling people that I did expect Silk Song to be better because like I had a really hard time believing that it wouldn't be. But like the thing about Bonanza, even if it doesn't work, even if it's not as good as 64 or Country or whatever, like it's still something fresh and original. Like Bonanza has so much more creativity when it comes to like its mechanics and like the stuff you never get bored of exploring in Bonanza. Essentially, oops, stupid cat. The cat wants attention. Like I said, he's just obsessed. Like, please bet me. Like I've never seen a cat so starved for affection. Like he's the most social cat I've ever seen in my life. It's a big fan. Yeah, sure, $20. I'll give you a shout out. Is it a wild cat? No, I don't think so. Oops. Oops. Okay. No, I don't have food, kitty. Does he want me to take him home with me? Uh, Orange cat books. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll post a picture of the black cat that Black Cat Books was named after. I never did do it. I need to officially bring Black Cat Books back. That's actually something I was thinking about on the way here. Is that like whether I should bring Black Cat Books back because I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but like the problem was that like the website wasn't working out. It was they were like raising my costs on it, and I was having problems with like everything else I was doing. I was just like, okay, let's just get rid of the website and focus more on YouTube, and that worked out well for me in the short term. But like I feel like it was really kind of a mistake because like I liked having a website. We'll probably just like try a different website. I don't know, host, because like I use blackcatbooks.org was on Squarespace, and Squarespace was I don't know, it felt like too technical for me for a first timer. Like I didn't like the way like my website was formatted, and it was just kind of confusing as to what was on it. Like I had never run a website before, so I had trouble like enabling ads and all that. Um, and they kept raising my price too, which is something that I found very very frustrating. So yeah, I was considering bringing back Black Cat Books as a let's see, as like a podcast, and like we would just talk about like the publishing industry and like I don't know, just oh yep, gotta go.